coach of the Vienna Vikings. Let's see if our internet holds up there. Coach Calaycay, what's going on? How you doing, Coach? Thanks for coming on the show.
Hey, appreciate it, guys. It's always nice to be part and involved with geniuses. And I did want to ask what happened in that Lions game to Coach Newman, but you hit it up for me. So sorry about that, Jordan. I know that hurt.
Coach Calaycay, we're not talking about that. I'm gonna deflect that question. Coach Newman's not gonna be answering any questions about the Lions' loss. Here's what I want to do, because it's kind of hard to do a double interview here real quick. So I just want what from each of you. This is all I want, and then we're gonna go straight to you, Coach Calaycay. Each of you, I want you to tell me one thing you admire about the other's coaching style, ability, or what they bring to an organization, a football organization. Coach Calaycay, you can go first. Tell us something you admire and about Coach Newman here.
Well, I admire the fact that he's a very humble man, and it's really cool. We become friends over the years, and we talk more than probably we should as opponents. But I admire his friendship and how he treats people. I think that's the right way to do things. There's been so many discussions on ELF Live about, the culture of football in Europe and the differences between the U.S. and I think he really represents that. And, what he brings to the table as far as, the coaching aspect of being the X's and O's part, but also the personality part, the competitiveness part of what. And, 2 years ago we were talking and I was like, hey man, you got to get in the ELF. This is where you belong. And, we had long discussions about that, and obviously he's made our league better. He's made the Stuttgart Surge better, and made me better as a coach to go against him. So I'm looking forward to our future battles, and that'll come when time comes. But just him being a friend, being a great football mind, but also representing what American football should be like, and the goals that we have to set forward for this league and for the players that represent it.
There we go. Awesome, Coach. All right, great answer. And Coach Newman, you're up.
Yeah. Well, Chris and I obviously have a very close relationship. We talk, a couple times a week, and just the fact of, he's always kind of put relationships first, to be so kind of caring, let's say, as like a mentor to me, and to, when I have questions or anything like that, still be able to kind of reach out, know I can lean on him and talk to him about anything. And, I think it's got to be said that Chris has got to be, one of the, if not the most successful that's ever coached in the history of Europe. Reason he's, so long tenured at an organization like Vienna. And that's just, his players love him. They play for him. And he creates a culture that, I really learned a lot from in my time there. And, there's a reason he's had that success over a long period of time, because, guys just want to keep coming back and keep playing for him. And yeah, I mean, when you talk about European football and the history of it, I mean, you can't really talk about it without Coach Calaycay.
Fantastic. There we go. Awesome. All right. We're going to let Coach Newman, we're gonna dismiss you. We're gonna let you go. Thank you so much for your time, Coach. Really appreciate it. So there you go. Later, Coach Newman. Thanks for coming by.
Hey, George.
Coach Newman drove out here in Schwäbisch. Now, Coach Calaycay, I've got you here one-on-one. There we go. We can center ourselves. Okay, Coach. Appreciate you coming on the show. A fellow Oregonian.
Yeah.
There we go. Hold on here. Let me get myself rearranged back in the middle. All right, Coach. Before we start talking about the Vienna Vikings and everything this year, I do want to ask what it was like. How was it having Coach Newman as your offensive coordinator all those years back?
A lot of good memories. When he first came in, I've never seen. We talked about that today, actually. He said we were talking a little bit about fashion and what we need as coaches. Going forward, instead of coming in the office in sweats and tennis shoes all day. And he goes, Coach, I still own that same suit that I came in for my first interview. I was so impressed with him. He came in, he's got a full nice suit on. He walked in, just killed his interview. We hit it off, and I've never seen him in a dress shirt or a suit since that day. So Yeah, no, I mean, it's been an amazing journey, and our relationship has obviously grown, but being good friends and having that same competitive nature. It's funny because he's a Republican, I'm a Democrat, and he's from Texas and I'm from Oregon, but we're so in sync with that, and that's the way it should be.
There we go. There we go. Everything parts of the United States represented. We got Danny Mitchell, coach, in the chat. I don't know if you can see that. He's saying both of these men represent coaching game at the highest level. Two coaches I'll always look up to. That's pretty cool. Coach Clay, I mean, it's awesome that you've had kind of this impact on many coaches throughout the year, somebody like Danny and somebody like Jordan as well. Can you talk a little bit just about your coaching philosophy? What is the Calaycay coaching? What do you bring to an organization and want your teams to be like?
Well, number one, we have to have, the community of it's funny, Coach Mitchell's there. I mean, you could just say it's a weird deal, but with the Vikings, a guy will walk in the room, say, "Hey, I love you." And, that's just one of the things is that, there's that respect factor that goes between everybody within our organization, from, our management through our coaching staff and our players. That's what I want. I want guys to come in here and I want them to understand, hey, we're trying to be the best person we're going to be on the football field, off the football field, as a unit, as an offense, as a defense, and as a team, putting it all together. That's the goal of every coach, is to get a group of men to play together to their ultimate and to their best. So, it takes hard work. You got to put in the grind. You got to have an atmosphere where guys can feel comfortable, come in. And, one of my coaching philosophies is always, it's not better or not worse, it's just different. And that sums up Europe, really, in the sense is that guys come over here with certain expectations. And I always tell, my American guys or my import guys, hey, this isn't better or worse. Just understand it's going to be different. This is how we do things. And, guys gel real quick. And we have a great group of guys here, a great group of leaders that lead the way on that.
That's awesome, Coach. And you mentioned just a little bit there about the difference kind of having American football in America and then football in Europe. There's some new kind of high profile coaches in the league this year that have really high level coaching experience in the NFL or in Division I college. And to me, sometimes these coaches will struggle when coming to Europe. Because they want to translate everything one-to-one, how they did at these big budget programs. Is there basically a word of advice or advice you would give to coaches coming over from the States, having only coached in the States before, to come in and coach Europe?
Well, number one, you can't generalize it, because there's been a lot of great coaches that come over to the U.S. and do an amazing job, whether they're here for 1 season or 3 seasons or 5 seasons or 20 seasons like myself. It just comes down to understanding what kind of coaching philosophy you're going to have, whether it fits in and whether that can sell to the men that you're going to be coaching in that environment. The ELF is very different than club football that we've had here over the past. So we've all had to adapt, whether that's Coach Newman or myself, Vikings or Ryan Fire team. The Vikings have been around for 40 years, and the Ryan Fire was founded when we were founded in the ELF. So, those are two very different things. And a coach coming from the U.S., they have to be able to say, hey, this is how we're going to run things. Whether or not that works or not, sometimes it does. I think see Coach Tom Sula come in, have great success with it, and that's okay. But your football in Europe has been around now for a long time, especially here with the Vienna Vikings. So, our situation is a little bit different than some of the other franchises that were just founded.
Yeah, for sure. And the Vienna Vikings, I mean, it's just this a long-standing program with a great history and a great reputation. And obviously, Coach, you're a huge part of that, of what you guys have built and what you guys have been accomplishing. I want to go back to the 2023 season just for a little bit, to the semifinal game against the Surge. This was a very high-profile game. A lot of people talking about it. You and Jordan had coached together before, and so this was very exciting for the league. And it was a fantastic game for the fans, just kind of looking at it from an objective point of view, exactly what this league wants. Unfortunately, the Vikings, you guys did not come away with the win at the end. It was a really close game. Can you talk a little bit about this semifinal game in 2023?
Well, I mean, like you said, for the fans, it's always great to have close games and to have two teams go out there and battle like that. There was a lot of sways in that game. You know, we had our opportunities, and very, very clearly, we're on the 1 yard line, and we have a 14-point swing. We're going to sneak it into the end zone, and all of a sudden, boom, you're going the other way, and it's 14 points, and we ended up losing by 7. There's opportunities at the end of the game, too. I mean, it was a fantastic finish where we ended up going ahead, I believe, with 7 minutes to go. They get the ball back. They're driving, gets to a 4th down situation. I think there was a challenge in there. I had a challenge, and, I know Jordan hated that one. They get the 1st down and, went down and scored. We got the ball back. I had a ton of confidence in our guys that we were going to go down and score and win the game. It didn't work out that way for us, but great game. Obviously, it's a disappointment for us. We haven't lost a home game since we've been in the ELF. So our expectations are high, and they should be. We're the reigning champs. We fell a little short of that. But that's football, that's life, and we got to learn from that, and that puts a little bit of fire into our guys this year. And you were one of those guys that picked the Surge to go win it all, and that's motivation for us in the future. And but that's all good. That's the way it should be. That's the way football should be. There should be teams that surprise people. I think we were a little bit of surprise last year going against Hamburg in the final. A lot of teams didn't think, can they stop Glenn Tunga? And, can that defense hold up? And, all that kind of stuff. And we ended up winning the championship in our first year. So, that's great for the league. I think we've had some fantastic games in the ELF, especially in the playoff time. But, our expectations are obviously higher than that. And that's what
absolutely, Coach. And, sorry, I lost you there for a second.
No, it's okay. We're still
working.
Can
you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
That's all right. That's all good. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so looking forward now. Let's look forward, 2024. Obviously, the Vikings are a team that are top-notch every single year. And what can we expect from the Vienna Vikings for 2024? What are your feelings for this season?
Well, I mean, it doesn't change a whole lot in that sense, but what does change is that's what makes the league exciting, is that you never know which team is going to be coming out of which conference. And so we're going in preparing and we're trying to get better at every position group. We have changes. Chris Helbig is retired. We've had some other guys retire, so we're bringing in some new bodies and some new faces. That's going to be cool. One of the things that even Jordan, I think, talked about was consistency. Being able to have our entire coaching staff back, but adding Max Summer, the Austrian national team head coach, as our offensive coordinator and a coach that I worked with, since he was 19 years old, through the national team. We're adding him to the program. We're adding some new guys. We haven't announced everyone yet, but it's an exciting time. As always, this is the preparation. This is the build up to that season. And, the fans should be excited. The Vikings fans should be excited. And let's get after it this year.
There we go. And speaking of a new season and new stuff, there is a new Vikings logo releasing tomorrow. This is a little bit of a topic change here. Can you comment on the fact that there's a new logo for the Vienna Vikings?
Well, I mean, marketing, identity, all that kind of stuff. I'm a ball coach, but I understand, the need for that. I understand that everyone should understand that we're not the Minnesota Vikings. We've had, the horns on our helmet and our Viking head for a long time, but change is part of life, and change is one of those things that, I don't worry about it too much. We know how to adapt. You got to adapt, you got to innovate, and then you got to execute. And, those types of things, You know, it's going to be hard. It's hard for some people to accept certain things. In my mind, it's exciting. It's exciting to have something new, to have something fresh, to have, you know, some new motivational stuff for our guys. You know, and that's a cool thing. And I think that every season, if every season we knew who was going to win, if we knew the Chiefs are going to win this, you know, Super Bowl, then everybody would be like, ah, okay. But maybe the 49ers going to. I hope not. You know, the Seattle Seahawks, you know, you're an Oregon guy, you know, Pacific Northwest. Hopefully we can get the Seahawks back in the Super Bowl.
There we go, Coach. I like from taking something that really on the surface is so trivial, like a logo, really, and you just drop some words of wisdom on it that, you know, change is a part of life. This is something you have to be able to adapt to. This applies to football on and off the field. This is some good stuff. The good stuff, Coach. I love hearing this type of wisdom.
Well, I mean, you can let things control you, and you can listen to those outside voices or whatnot, but really, it's the guy standing next to you in the trenches. I mean, you know, all those things they're outside noise. If people want to be negative, they can be negative. That's okay. I'm good with that. You be negative, you're gonna have your own opinion, but that's not gonna change my stance of what this you know, this logo means for us or who we are. We know who we are, and we know what we need to do. We know what we need to get after. And we're gonna, you know, we're still purple and gold. We're still the Vikings, and you know, the 2000 season is right before us. So we're gonna focus on those things and focus on some positivity. I think we need more of that in this world.
Absolutely, Coach. Coach, thank you so much joining us on the show here tonight. I mean, I know we got to meet each other one time in person, but I've heard so much about you, so many good things from many different people over the years, just in my time here in European football. And I really respect and admire what you're doing in Vienna, not just for Vienna and for the Vikings, but for football in Europe. So thank you for that.
Hey, Nick, I appreciate you. I'm just sad Silas isn't here. I was hoping he was going to come fire at me. I mean, this is easy. You're throwing softballs for me here. I need some Silas to get after it. So maybe we'll do this again sometime.
Yeah, we'll have to do that again. I'll give you the softball ones, and Silas throws the curveballs. That's our.
There we go. He's got to be patient, knock it out of the park.
There we go. No, more wisdom. Look at that.
Yeah.
All right, Coach. Thanks so much for joining us on the show. See you later.
Take care.